Anyway, guys, so I'm over here on 125th Street in the bank. I'm getting ready to go across the street. And there's my glasses. This is Rosa from Rosa's Resources. You guys already know I'm on 125th Street today. And I'm in 125th Street in Harlem, guys. I'm getting ready to interview this young man about domestic violence. I was telling him my story, and he said he's going to be willing to share some information. That's crazy. Sorry. What is going on?
I didn't feel it.
Your camera, I tried to. No, everything is good, but you can look at it. Jesus. Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you. Anyway, guys, you know I got to bring you guys the realness. So I want to hear from this man telling me about his domestic violence story. As soon as I go pay him his money for these items that I'm buying. Thank you, my love.
Thank you.
Thank you. Put this in there for me, please. Throw this in this bag right here. You're welcome. I have to support, especially when you're nice, you know? So anyway, I'm not going to put the camera on you, but I'm going to hear your story. I was talking to you about domestic violence, telling you I want to hear more about men and their emotion, and if they ever been through any domestic violence situation. You can go ahead. I know it's a little noisy out here, but you can go ahead and share your story.
So yeah, I had got into a relationship with now my son's mother, and at the time that we were began dating and getting to know each other, she had a young son, and his father wasn't involved in at all. Like never went to like any appointments, never was involved, and she was young at the time. She might have been like 20, and she was working long hours, and I seen like she wasn't making that much money, and I didn't look at her as like, her appearance or how much money she was making. It was something about her where I felt like I could better herself and better her life, and that's exactly what ended up happening. We ended up dating, and that's when I started to realize she was mentally and emotionally like abused, and it made me want to do more for her, like to show her that not all men are the same, because she was very broken and very shattered. So I put a lot of time and effort into like building her up. Building her confidence up, building, her security up. She's very insecure, and to be honest, she became a definitely total woman. And then we ended up conceiving my son, and I went to every single appointment, and she would just cry at times, just saying like, I'm not used to having someone involved. With my other son, his dad never came to support. He never told me he wasn't being involved, so. It felt good, like not only am I, being there for my son while he's being developing in the womb, but also being a father figure to her other son. And I felt good as a man. I felt good as a person, and that came crashing down because she had a very, very bad anger issue. Very bad anger issues, and I put up with a lot of stuff.
You got some customers. You can deal with your customers in the meantime.
No. This message is more important than any transaction or whatever. Because I know my story and this message is going to reach way more people than making a transaction or making a sale right here. So I'd rather get this message out because there's so many people out there that probably are afraid to share their experiences as a man and express it. So I'm gonna do it. So like I said, I let a lot of things slide verbally. I was verbally abused in the beginning, and it was a lot of very confrontational arguments and over little petty things. And I always took it as, she was broken and shattered. So I sacrificed, my dignity and just kept let it slide. And that was my mistake. I should have addressed it when it happened because those were red flags. Looking back, those red flags. Like, if I respect you, you should respect me.
Red flags. You guys hear that?
You got to pay attention to red flags.
Tell me about the red flags. They need to know.
Yeah, the red flags and it's always a red flag because it warns you before it blows up. So if you get a red flag or you got a bad feeling in your spirit that something's off, you need to address it, and address it in the right way. The right way is prayer, because I didn't pray about none of this stuff. So I'm letting you know now. Address it with prayer. Ask God to direct your steps, and He talks about directing your steps, and ask Him to hear His voice because He knows what's better for you. Because I'll get to that later, but it was times where I would hear Him in my sleep. I would hear Him throughout my day at work, and it would just tell me I need to. This door is closing, and so many times He closed the door, and we separated, and I will always go back.
I understand
because I wanted to be that family. I wanted that family unit. I'd never, had that vision of having a baby mom or co-parenting. Like I always wanted to have that strong family unit.
Nice. Did you grow up with your mother and your father?
I did, and that's the reason why I put so much effort into like making it work, because I had that, and I wanted my son to have it. Even though he has his mom, has his dad, but I never wanted to be, oh, you got to go over your mom's house certain days, go to my dad, you know, because that's a lot for a child.
Yes.
So yeah, red flags is definitely things that don't sit well with your spirit. It don't sit well with your you know, your mind. Like it's certain things that you're going to feel it. You're going to know what a red flag is, and you need to address it. The first thing you need to do before you even confront the person is ask God to give you strength. You need strength. You need encouragement. You need all that. Then you need to address the person, and it's all about driving the line. Look, this is what I expect out of the relationship. This is what I won't tolerate out of a relationship.
Your boundaries.
Yeah, you set boundaries, and you have to do that, because I never did that, and you have to do that. You have to set boundaries.
I love that you said about the boundaries, because I didn't know about boundaries all my old age. You understand? And then when that happened to me, I found out that I had to speak up and say what I won't tolerate. You know. So what are some of the things you absolutely have to have in a relationship now moving forward?
Going forward, I definitely have to have respect. Looking back at it, I didn't get respected. You know, I was taken for granted. No matter what you do for a person in any aspect of life, if they don't respect you, they're not going to appreciate it. So you have to have respect, because if they respect you, they're not going to. If they have respect for you, they're not going to do things to hurt you. They're not going to do things to put you down, make you like. Of course, everybody's going to have their little disagreements and whatever in a relationship. But if there's respect there, that's when the boundaries come. If you have respect for your partner, your significant other, you're not going to overstep those boundaries. You're not going to disrespect them. You're not going to hurt them. You're not, because you don't want to see them hurt, because you respect them.
That's right.
And you know, the respect comes first. You know, and then love, because you could love somebody and not respect them.
That's right.
I have love for this person, but I'm gonna still do this and not care for them. So if you have respect, it's a difference. Have the respect and all that. But yeah, so I was emotionally abused, and then the physical came, and I never experienced nothing like this in my life.
Physical? You were?
No, she did. I never put my hands on a woman. You know, I was raised by my parents, and then that's the difference. I had grandparents as well. So everywhere I go, you know, people tell me how well mannered I am, and especially
that's how we met this morning.
And they tell me chivalry's dead. I'll still open the door, yes ma'am, no ma'am, all that type of things. And so it'll be little things like, say like she's into a certain TV show and I'm not into it. I can't even make this up. She'll throw chairs at me, like start cussing, all this extra stuff.
Well, did you see this in the beginning, that she was this type of person that she was putting on the front?
I seen she was emotional. She was very emotional. She cried a lot. She was angry a lot. But I didn't see the domestic violence part. I didn't see that part. She told me all about it with her, like how she was thrown out of cars on a highway. She was beaten and battered. She told me all that. But I didn't know she would end up being that person to me. And so another example, I was embarrassed. I had my friend over. I haven't seen in a while, a male friend, whatever. We catching up or whatever. And you know, when someone comes to your house, you ask them, do they want something to drink? You know, you want any snacks? You know, chips or whatever. I had some Oreo cookies. I remember I had some Oreo cookies. Oh, let me get a few Oreos. I get the Oreos. I know you ain't giving out them cussing Oreos. And I'm like, and I never try to put out there what I do for people, but I pay all the bills. Because she was so young, she was like 20 with a 3-year-old, you know, and she had to go to work, so she used
to let her child see the actions that she was doing.
Yes, and I told her that too. I said, for your older son's father to be abusive and do that, he has his blood in him. Not saying that he's going to become him, but it's certain triggers that can make him
generational curses.
Yeah, generational curses. And I told her, I said, not only do I not want to see that, but you shouldn't let him see that, because you never know. He could look at that and think that's normal.
Right.
It's normal for parents to be in each other's face and hitting each other and all that. So, and his father was like that, so you don't want him to become like his father. Don't do it. Don't tell me what the F to do with my all that stuff. You know? And like I said, she would cuss if I offer people stuff. And it's times where I had to leave her. I'm like, this is stressing me out. You have to go back to your mom's house. If you don't appreciate me, I'm paying all the bills. I'm making sure you got a better job. I'm bettering your quality of life, bettering your son's quality of life. You have to leave. And when that would happen, she wouldn't let me see my son, and I was hurt. I was very hurt, because I've been in my son's life since he was conceived.
What about now? Do you have a relationship with your son, or?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, good. How did, like, after all the anger, all the pain? I know you gotta go. I know you're doing your business.
No.
After all the anger, after all the pain, how did you get to go back into your son's life? And did she take you to child support?
No. What ended up happening is she ended up. Like I said, it was a lot of back and forth where I would kick her out, bring her back in, kick her out, bring her back in, because I wanted to make it work. And one of the times that she came back in, she ended up finding paperwork I had file for full custody and all that. So she said, "What is this?" And she found all these receipts. I started keeping receipts of everything I was doing, and she found she found money orders because I would talk to people. I said, how to avoid being looking like I'm the bad guy. And they said, keep all your receipts.
Especially because you're the man, yes.
Right. And a female told me this: keep all your receipts, start documenting everything, get your paperwork now. Do it before she even do it, so it looks better that you went to court. And she said, "What are you doing?"
I said, looking out.
I said, whenever we're not together, you never let me see my son.
Oh, wow.
I have family from New York coming down. I have family coming all over Virginia. They want to see this is my firstborn. You don't let me see him. You don't have to go to court. We could do this. I'm like, I had to go to court because I'm not the type that's going to, cuss you out. I'm not going to try to go upside your head. I'm not going to do all this.
He's doing work while I speak to him. But that's amazing.
You know what I mean? But through the strength of God.
You could deal with your customer. I'll wait for you.
No. This is more important. For the strength of God, you know what I mean? I was able to move past that. God must have touched her heart as well because I get to see my son.
Were you praying for her?
Yes, I was praying for her. Thank you.
That's good.
Yeah, I was praying for peace. I was praying for her well-being, and it worked out because, like I said, I bettered her life. So she had a better job. She had a vehicle. So she was doing good for herself. And so with that, she didn't feel no type way about me. You're established now, and I get to see my son whenever I want. My son got like a little tablet, so he could video call me.
That's great. So is she in New York as well?
No, she's down in Philadelphia.
Oh, good. Well, maybe sometime too, the distance,
it's good.
Make her reflect herself.
It's good because, and to be honest, she ended up sending me a long text and told me this is way after we were not together anymore. She said, "I'm really sorry for everything I put you through.
That's cool.
You're the realest dude I ever met. I really, really appreciate you." And that meant a lot to me coming from her because I felt so
the closure. Absolutely. You're such an awesome and young person, And how old are you? About 30, 20?
I'm actually 31.
Oh, he looked like in his 20s. Oh, 31. That's great. So you think a lot of men now are saying that they don't want to get married, and they view black women view black males a certain way, and vice versa. Do you see marriage in your future?
Yeah. Like I said, my parents was married. And I was one of those odd kids, and I wouldn't say odd, but I thought different. A lot of I grew up. I said I want to get married, and a lot of my friends laughed at me. You want to get married? Even at a young age.
They think you're a tomboy.
Yeah, you want to get married? Why you want to get married? Because I had that upbringing. I seen a marriage is definitely needed because it shows the commitment to each other. A lot of people say, "Oh, if we live together or whatever, we're basically married." No, the marriage is the next step up.
And the covenant, let's go.
The covenant, they ain't ready for that. They ain't ready for that talk. They ain't ready for that talk. It's the covenant, and you just become one. It's a difference. It's really a difference between living boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. But when you come as one under God,
you also exactly. It's a gift. Your wife is a gift to you. A lot of people don't know that. You also talked about getting cheated on. Could you talk about what a man go through when they're cheated on? What you went through, anyway.
Far as that, it's definitely a hurtful feeling, when you find out. Like it hurts so bad to the point you wish you never found out. But you always want that closure. You always want to know what's going on, and it's a terrible feeling. Like it goes both ways. Like men are going to feel just as horrible as women do.
Because people think men don't have feelings.
Right. Trust me, men do. And it leaves you with so much cloudiness. Like you often think like, what? How did it get to this point? Is there something I did wrong? Is something I didn't do? And then you're like, no, it's not me. I'm not in the wrong. This person is wrong because you chose to do it. You can even think it. We can think about doing things all day long, but your actions, like you really went and did it. Like so, it's definitely a hurtful feeling. And men, trust me, men, just as women are crushed by it, men are crushed even more. And men sometimes are dangerous when they're crushed because they don't vent it out. They don't talk.
They're more physical.
Yeah, they're physical, and they end up doing stuff to mess up their lives and their livelihood and their freedom. Like because they'll take it out on something or somebody else, and instead of addressing the issue and trying to heal, because when you got to heal, but a lot of men don't do that.
I could talk to you all day long, but I know you got to go because you're here, doing your work. Have you ever been in the black community? A lot of people think, all black men went to jail. Have you ever experienced that?
I never experienced that in my life, and I'm very proud to say it. Like,
I want to pray for you right now.
A lot of people think backwards. A lot of people think, going to jail is a badge of honor. Oh, I did time. I did a bid. No, that's not something to brag about. You actually got time taken away from your life that you can't get back. You know, and that's, you could be out here being productive. You know, you could be out here, you know, teaching the youth. You could be out here like just being productive as a person and as an individual. So going to jail is never a fun thing. And trust me, people don't see like when them lights go out and them jail cells go, it's grown men that cry in there. I hear stories all the time. Grown men cry. So
crying, being their girlfriend, all type of things.
You know how many stories I heard people going to jail and they miss out on their kids' lives, their parents die, their friends die, and they miss out on so much stuff. So I never experienced that. I thank God for that, you know, for giving me a level head. Nothing's worth your freedom. Nothing's worth your freedom, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up real quick, but what I want you to do for me before we go, I thank you for the interview. I thank you for being so transparent. I want you to talk to the young men that's listening. Basically, like as far as being a leader and not feeling like they have to conform with what's going on in society.
Oh yeah, for all the young men, just be true to yourself. Be true to yourself. Don't follow any trends. Don't feel like you need to follow anybody to be yourself. You're made uniquely. God made you, you know, fearfully and wonderfully made. He knew exactly how many hairs was on your head. And so he knew exactly who you was going to be, what you was going to look like, who you're destined to be. So just be true to yourself. Don't follow anybody's trend. People that follow trends, they don't have no identity. Because if you know who you are, you can be comfortable in your own skin. You don't care what this person's wearing, what this person's driving. It's your walk, it's your journey. It was a saying that was always brought to me is, don't base your time off another person's watch. You know, your walk in life is your walk of life. You know, it may not be you might see someone's success and think like, oh, I want to be on that level. You don't see how long, you may not know it. That could be year 10 for him or her. You know, you might be on year 1. So don't look at other people and be a follower. Be a leader in your own right. And what I learned from my personal experience, when you're a leader and you stand in you're in your own walk, people tend to follow you.
That's right.
You know, because people love leaders. They feel like they can grow. When you're a leader, you can do so much more for yourself and society. Being a leader, because you water seeds. Me talking to you right now, doing this interview. Somebody could be looking at this and come up to you after we're done, like, hey, what was that all about? Oh, and you could tell them exactly what you do. You know what? I went through some personal stuff. Can I get? Be a leader. Be a leader. Be a leader.
Do you mind if I show your table a little bit? Or
go ahead. Show
okay.
the table.
So I'm not going to show him, but this is his table. He's selling. This is for the club, and he sells scarves and everything. So you guys, you come and support him. He's on 125th Street. Okay, right in front of the Champion Sports Shop. Okay, he's so amazing. I'm going to let him go. What scripture do you go back to get that strength?
Me?
Do you have a special scripture?
Yes. I go to. I have a couple. I have Psalms. My top one is Romans 8.
Which one?
28.
Okay, which one is that?
And it says, if God is for you,
Who can
who
be
will be
against
against
you?
you? You can't lose with God. If he's for you, who could be against you? Who? Nobody. It don't matter your position in life. It don't matter what their person's rank is, how much money they got. It don't matter what influence they have on the world. If God is for you, who could be
this.
You know what I mean? So if you have God in your life and God on your side, you can't lose ever. You know, he's always on time. God's time is always perfect. It may not happen when you want it to happen, but His time is perfect. He'll never put you through anything you can't handle. Never.
Thank you. I love it. Come give me a hug. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right, guys, I'm going to go. Make sure you like, comment, and share. If you are a man going through any of this, please drop it in the comment. Thank you.